Spoiler for The Walking Dead show and Last of Us Part 2. Hi, my name's Cesaro. I'm researching different zombie media for hours. Just to put it into perspective, my last 2 videos alone were 50 hours total, combined. Just to give myself a little bit of credibility before we start this. With Last of Us 2 being right around the corner, it had me thinking about its obvious connection to The Walking Dead, and why they could put the show in danger. You may be wondering, what connection? You mean the fan favorite character that is considered the heart of the franchise being brutally murdered in front of the person that's closest to them, sparking a revenge tour, all for that to amount to eventually being able to let go and forgive? So if you don't know anything about The Walking Dead, for its first 6 seasons, it was the biggest show on television, receiving loads of awards and praises, including like 2 Emmys. I mean, this show genuinely revolutionized television and reignited the sparks of the zombie genre as a whole. But it all came crumbling down with the introduction of
Little pig, let me in.
Negan is the leader of a different group to the one that we follow. Our first interaction with him is killing the soul of that universe, Glenn, brutally in front of his pregnant wife, mind you. Not just killing him, bashing his head open with a baseball bat. And for a lot of the fans, that was the final straw. And if you look at the viewership for that show even now, yikes. This is a similar thing I could see happening in the next season of Last of Us. If you don't know anything about the game, a very similar thing happens with the main character, Joel. He is butchered right in front of Ellie, and basically the exact same thing that happened in The Walking Dead happens in that game, which if you ever looked at the reviews when that game first dropped, that makes sense. However, I still think there is a way the Last of Us 2 showrunners can navigate this and have it being successful if they pay attention to the other pitfalls that The Walking Dead went down. It's already on better footing than The Walking Dead was. For example, Last of Us excels at pacing, and for fans that have just watched the shows, we aren't as connected to his death as we are to Glenn. I mean, Glenn was in like 6 seasons of that show, and he's the only reason the main character's alive. I mean, I know Joel's a massive character, I don't want to get no hate for that, but I feel like the connection between Glenn and The Walking Dead was deep down in its roots. And another point that's good for Last of Us is that Last of Us is always looking more positive. If we get an announcement of a 3rd game, we're looking good. We're eating good, man. Walking Dead was slowly going down in viewership and down in being just good. So it was inevitable that it was eventually going to lose fans, and this was just the final straw. Last of Us hasn't even drawn its first straw yet. So I do think they're going to lose viewers, but I don't think it's going to be to the number of The Walking Dead if they navigate it correctly. Another issue I could see happening in the 2nd season is a similar thing that happened in The Walking Dead again, trying to force a bad character to seem good. In The Walking Dead, we have Negan, a character who's done horrible things, and we know he has, and they try and spin it in a way that, oh, if we were following Negan from the start, we would think he's the good guy the whole time. But see, the thing with Negan is they slowly transformed this arc over years in universe. There was an 8-year time skip during season 9, and for that entire time, Negan was imprisoned. So his redemption arc is a very slow and gradual arc from being a bad person to being an okay person. He's not, people don't consider him a great person, but he's an okay person. In The Last of Us, they turn that arc to 1 billion and try and speedrun it. And it feels super on the nose and leaves such a sour taste in your mouth. Like, Abby, she pets dogs. Ellie, she has to kill dogs. Abby has better weapons, has cooler gameplay sections, has the big strong arms that Joel has. A lot of the stuff to try and make Abby seem like a good person feels super on the nose, and it feels really forced. They try so hard to make Ellie seem like the bad person, and I think if they don't slow down the pacing on that arc, I could see people really losing their hope in the show. Because in the game, it's so fast-paced in the game. And there's good signs from the 1st season, because the 1st season slowed down a lot of the pacing issues. I say pacing issues. In the video game, they're not pacing issues, it's gameplay sections. But they skip a lot of the gameplay sections that are unnecessary to put in mainly the story stuff and really pack it on so it's a good story for television. So if they continue down that alley, I think we're all good. But it's something to keep an eye out for, because it still could be very bad and jarring for viewers. My final point is just to mention how similar Maggie Rhee and Ellie are in both of their stories. Having the person closest to them murdered violently right in front of them, causing giant tears in the person they once were, giving them trauma, and the undying thirst for revenge. See, Maggie's forgiveness is still up in the air. Even 20 years later, she only gives Negan a glimmer of forgiveness after he all but sacrifices himself for her son, which makes her seem like a more jaded and sour person. I mean, even in The Walking Dead Dead City Season 1, Season 2's not out yet, by the way, so the forgiveness is still up in the air for that. She's pushing her son away to the point where he doesn't really like her. Where this is where I could see the major benefits of The Last of Us' pacing, but they still have to navigate it carefully. Ellie gives forgiveness after realizing how much Joel changed. Joel would, oh my god, oh, my nose, bruh, I'm ill. Joel wouldn't wanted oh my god, I can't speak, oh my god. Joel wouldn't wanted Ellie to tear herself apart for him. She breaks the chain of revenge, being the better person, remembering that Joel found forgiveness within himself in the end, dying doing something good for once. Not saying that Joel isn't a good person, but you know, he wasn't in his past, and I think he forgave himself in the end. Even after physically losing her only connection to Joel, she's still the better person in the end and ends the chain of revenge, which I think if they keep it in and they keep the emotional tone of that good and they keep the arc in your mind focused, I think it will be perfect. And I think season 2 will do really well for anyone that's not homophobic, which is a whole nother point on its own. The bittersweet ending of season 2 is what makes it so good. With The Last of Us, they have dragged that out so much. It's been like 25 years in that show's universe, and she still hasn't fully forgiven him. So my main points are, if Last of Us season 2 keeps its pacing well, keeps its emotional tones very, very tight and good, tries to fix the jarringness of Abby being a good person, I think the show will do really well. But it has to do that, otherwise I think it will lose a lot of viewers. But it's gonna lose viewers anyway because, you know, Joel died and he's super cool, big, strong man, and also Ellie gay. So, you know, that sucks. It obviously wasn't implied, you know, in the first season. It was already getting hate for episode 3. I mean, season 2 might be cooked on that side of things. You stop watching the show because Ellie's gay, you're just a homophobe, bro. You're just a homophobe. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I kind of just thought about this randomly while trying to sleep, so I just wrote it all out, and then this is the video, man. It's not going to my sub box. This place got like 2 views or something. Oh yeah, subscribe.